we're going to talk all about ratios and how we can relate them to each other. This is going to be very similar to reducing a fraction into its lowest common terms and comparing it. However, in the ratio format, that can be a little tricky. So, we're making coffee. Erica makes coffee with 2 scoops of coffee and 5 cups of water. Jim makes 7 cups of water. So, how do we solve this? Well, the best way is to draw a picture. I'm going to draw some scoops, or at 1 scoop, 2 scoops. So that represents our 2 scoops of coffee. And I'm going to equally divide up our cups. So we have 5 cups of water. So each scoop should get 1, 2, and a half. Okay, now we talk about Jim. Jim has 3 scoops of coffee. 1, 2, and 3. And there are 7 cups of water. So we can evenly divide up these cups here. We'll go 1 for you, 1 for you. Okay, that's 3. We can divide up 3 more. So we'll each get 2 cups. And now we have 1 cup left, so we'll go with a third. Put a third on here, just so we know. So, Erica's coffee is 1 scoop of coffee for every 1, 2, and a half cups of water. Now, Jim's coffee, if we look at just one section here, is 1 scoop of coffee for 1, 2, and a third. So we'll go 2.3. So who makes stronger coffee? If you compare these ratios, it would be Erica, who has 2.5 cups of coffee for every 1 cup of water, versus Jim, who has 2 1/3. So this is the kind of stuff we'll be talking about. So let's look at a problem. The recommended seeding on a package of grass is 200 grams of seed per 9 meters squared. Carry spread 150 grams over 6.5 meters squared. Is this equal or less than the recommended setting? And how do we know this? In order to solve something like this, we have to first look at our problem. We have to look at what's important. So if we look at what is seeded, the ratio that they recommend is 200 grams for every 9 meters squared. So now if we take these numbers and convert them to a ratio, we know that for every 200 grams, there are 9 meters squared. So our ratio is 200 to 9. Now if we look at what Carrie did, we can ask what ratio is she using. So we can see that she spread 150 grams of seed over 6.5 meters squared. Ratio as 150 to 6.5. Now the question is, how do we make them equivalent? Well, it's actually really easy. If we divide by the second term right here, the first term being the first number, second term being the second number, if we divide by that number on both sides, we can so 9 divided by 9 equals 1. And 200 divided by 9 equals 22.2. So the ratio of seed to total area is 22.2 grams for every 1 meter squared. Now if we do the same to this side, let's draw a line down the middle so we don't get confused. We divide this side by 6.5, and we do the same with this side. because just like over here, all we're doing is taking the second term right here, and we're just breaking it apart. So 6.5 divided by 6.5 equals 1, and 150 divided by 6.5 equals 22.1. So is this a equal or less than or greater than the recommended setting? Well, if there's 22.2 grams for every meter squared, and these people are putting 22.1, this is the greater amount. So we know that Carrie is putting 0.1 grams less per square meter. Now, how would we reduce these down? We have two ratios. If we wanted to compare them, we'd have to get them the same terms. So just like before, we'd take the lowest term, and in this case, it'd be term 1. We divide by that on both sides. So then we wind up with 1 to 4. Now this second ratio, we look and find the lowest term, which in this case is term 2, which means the second number, and we divide by that on both sides. So we get a ratio of 4 to 1. Now, your job. I want you to look at these ratios, and I want you to reduce them using the second term. So you're going to divide using the second term and show what you know.